Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 6. In the last chapter, I basically determined and learned the identity of the culprit for Chapter 2's sequence of events, because Chapter 5 ended up turning out to be, at least in half, Chapter 2's events told from the killer's perspective, and the identity of the killer was Shion Sonozaki. And not only was my theory proven right, that she was indeed Chapter 2's killer, I've also used some symptoms that she seemed to exhibit once certain afflictions seemed to hit her, in order to basically compare all the symptoms that she and other characters that seem to exhibit either signs of a curse or, what I'm thinking anyway, a virus. And at least come up with a theory on how exactly this thing functions. And, well, from there, that ended up creating a snowball effect in my head, where I started piecing together a bunch of other theories as to how this virus, given how it seems to function, could be implemented in the conspiracy that seems to be taking place in Hinamizawa. And, well, long story short, I basically come up with the theory that somebody is using this thing to probably get Hinamizawa to kill itself in basically a absolute mob of fear and panic directed towards itself. There's a bunch of other aspects to the whole theory here that I could go into, but that would take quite a while for me to recount, and in a way that sounds coherent, in a way that seems coherent and makes sense. So, yeah, I'm not gonna go over that stuff again. So, we now have Chapter 6 of the Answer Arcs. We got 3 more left to go. So, I can't help but wonder, even though I think I have a pretty good idea as to what might actually be going on in Hinamizawa now, although I don't know for sure if I'm actually right about anything I've speculated. For all I know, I could be very freaking wrong, and I'm just going on a wild goose chase with these new big theories of mine relating to what exactly this conspiracy is aiming to achieve. But I don't think I'm at least on the wrong track, at least entirely. I do feel like I'm onto something here. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I do wonder, despite me feeling like I've got a pretty good idea on what this conspiracy could be about now, I do wonder what else I'm going to end up learning before I finally get to the point in the Answer Arcs where all my theories will either be proven or disproven. In Chapter 6's case, it's either going to be, I'm assuming, the Answer Arc to Chapter 1 or Chapter 3. Although I suppose if there's any one of these 2 chapters I definitely want some light shed on, it's probably Chapter 3, because that one was just an absolute mind screw of epic proportions that I'm still trying to figure out even as of this recording here. But I guess I wouldn't mind if Chapter 6 also served as the Answer Arc to Chapter 1 as well, because I definitely would like to get some questions that were raised in Chapter 1 answered, ones that have been with me since the very freaking beginning of this whole thing. So without further ado, why don't I just check on my settings real fast. Okay, the text box opacity is all the way at the max here for some reason. So I'll just put it right here at the half mark. Everything else I think looks fine, so I'll just go ahead and hit start, and actually wait, I almost forgot. I gotta set the censorship thing. I think it was F12? F9? Crap. Well, whatever. I'm sure I can open it during the actual gameplay. Sumi Horoboshi, The First Fall. Atonement Chapter. How's your reasoning towards the truth coming along? A lot farther than I thought it would be at this point, to tell you the truth. The next tragedy is ready for you. Enjoy. This is a humorous story with a tragic struggle at the end. The difficulty is 0. You can just enjoy the clowns milling about. And just getting violently insane with each other. Okay, I'm still not seeing the menu pop up. This arc includes choices that were added in the console version. These choices result in dialogue changes and can lead to bad ends. Oh boy! More pointless bad ends! Do you want to see these choices? Well, before I do that, let me see if I can... There it is. There we go. Okay, where's the voice thing? Voice matching level 3, 4, 5, 0. Okay, I guess I need to, Oop, there we go. There we go. Now we're all completely set for sure, I think. At least when it comes to the important stuff. So, bad ends. Skip additional choices. Show only content from PC version. Prompt additional choices from console version. Prompt choices and highlight correct answers. An option to highlight correct answers. Well, I guess that last option would certainly be nice if I just want to move the plot along the way it's supposed to without having to sift through a bunch of filler first. If I want to. But on the other hand, taking that last choice out of it and leaving me to figure out the correct choices on my own could add a bit of fun to the whole thing. Just, if only to see if I could guess what the right ones are. Or I could just keep them out entirely. But anyway, I like how it's only now, here in Chapter 6, giving me the option to do disable these bad ends, or at least enable them to play out in a specific way. Like, too little, too late, I think. But whatever. Better late. Actually, no, I guess not. I guess it's better late than never. Okay, You know what? Since I'm likely to just choose the wrong answers anyway, just to see what happens, even if I know that they're the wrong answers, I think I'll just go ahead and have the option to highlight correct answers. Actually, no. Wait. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. No. Fuck it. Let's add an additional layer of mystery to this. First time I try hard to avoid the inevitable tragedy. Second time I would be disgusted with the inevitable tragedy. Third time my disgust would turn into anguish. Seventh time I'd be laughing by then. This is a work of fiction. I didn't get a chance to read all of that, but I'm assuming that was Rika's talking. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. Their cries came from a distance, echoed loudly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Rena's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She'd say something, but the words would quickly fade away. She sounded so fragile that it made me worry she might vanish into thin air, along with her words. We're playing as Rika right now, aren't we? But nobody's pressuring her to continue. Mion dusted off the hood of an abandoned car and sat down on it as if to show how relaxed she was. She actually did look very relaxed, as if she came here to enjoy the cool breeze of the evening or something. Satoko followed Mion's example and sat down as well. Well, by process of elimination, definitely Mion. Because this doesn't sound like our good old Keiichi. She didn't look nearly as relaxed, however. I thought about following suit, but it felt rude to look away from Rena, even for the short time it would take to look for a place to sit down. So, I decided to remain standing. Rika-chan didn't sit. Never mind, I stand corrected. But she wasn't looking at Rena. Everybody else was looking at Rena, but Rika-chan was looking at the red sky. Rika-chan's expression was hard to describe. She looked pale and blank at the same time, as if all her emotions were gone. Rena wore the same kind of expression. She kept trying to say something, but it seemed like the words were stuck in her throat. Is this around the time that the loops began for her? Or close to it, anyway? I'm just guessing because I'm just trying to gauge why she could be looking and acting the way she is right now. And I'm just thinking, what if it's because the loops have started for her and she's just anguishing over how there doesn't seem to be a way out? She noticed Rika-chan was looking at the sky, so she decided to look that way as well. Mion did the same. So did I. Satoko looked that way too. And with that, there was silence. It was like we were in a concert hall, filled with the chorus of the Higurashi. A concert hall with the highest roof in the world. A refreshingly cool breeze tickled our sweaty bodies. I just thought of something. Maybe this is Satoshi. Maybe we're just not in the present time in the question arcs, or around the time the question arcs take place yet. Maybe this is from like a year ago or so. I could almost make myself believe we came here to enjoy the breeze and the sunset. I could only wish that was what we came here for. The shadows of the birds flying across the sky soured the feeling of our quiet concert. They reminded us that time hadn't stopped. Nobody wanted to pressure Rena. We didn't want time to pressure her either. Pressure into what? We wanted to keep the cool red sky as long as we could, so Rena could calm down and talk. What happened? Right then, I heard a sound, and it brought us all back to reality. The hood Mion was sitting on had made a noise when she moved to cross her legs. I didn't know whether Mion made the noise on purpose or not, but it reminded us that time had been passing by. The noise took our attention away from the sky and back to the ground. Such a tasteless noise seemed to have urged Rena to speak. Rena heaved a small sigh, nodded as if she understood something, and looked at us like she always did.
話す前に一個だけ言いたいことがあるの。
And what's that exactly? She was probably saying it to everybody, but since I'm standing in the middle with her looking at me, I nod to her to represent our agreement.
レナは正しい努力をしたと思ってる。
The right thing in what, exactly? Her voice wasn't hoarse anymore. She sounded just like she always did.
人って幸せになるためにどれだけの努力が許されるのかな。
It sounded like a question, but nobody answered.
だからね、私みーちゃんの部活って好きなの。ほら、優勝のためには何でもしようって考え方、そういうのって素敵だと思う。だって世の中が綺麗事で縛られてて、やっていい努力がわずかだけに決められていたら、幸せじゃない人たちはますます幸せを勝ち取れなくなっちゃうじゃない。不幸ってね、連鎖するものだと思うの。一度続き始めるとなかなか抜け出せない。そこから抜け出すには運とか人の助けとか、そういう他力本願なものだけじゃ到底足りない。
Well, I got bullheaded stubbornness. Is that enough?
自分でももっともっと努力しないといけないと思うの。
So yeah, bullhead stubbornness then. Okay. I'm on the path to possible victory at least with that.
それも本当の本当に精一杯。そこまでしてやっとつかめるのが幸せってものじゃないかなって。
Rena stopped talking, looked up, heaved a sigh, and opened her mouth again.
でもだからってみんなにもそれを受け入れてもらおうなんて甘えるつもりもないか。だって本当に汚らしいもの。
What did you do?
みんなだってついさっき呆然としたでしょ。それはつまりそういうことだよね。
I'd never seen her smile so self-derisively like this. That smile looked unbelievably painful. I could really feel how huge the distance between us was. There's nothing physically there, but I felt as if she's talking to us through iron bars or a chain-link fence. That's how great the distance between us was.
でもそれでもいいよ。仕方ないもんね。そういう風にできてる世の中だもん。多分私が逆の立場でいられたなら、同じように唖然として無責任で無慈悲な同情を浮かべていたに違いないもの。
She probably said that to hit back at us. We're just putting on a mask of sympathy, enjoying the spectacle of a clown on a stage. That's why she said that. I don't see her as a clown right now. She probably expected us to say something in return, but none of us knew what to say. Rena looked disappointed for a moment, then turned and clambered on top of an abandoned car. Then she spread her arms out and gave a little twirl, letting her skirt bellow up before she grabbed both ends and gave us a graceful curtsy.
じゃあ始めるよ。リュウグウレナの一世一代の頑張り物語を。
There was no curtain or spotlight. She was atop an abandoned car amidst the trash piles, a stage specially made for her. We tried not to miss a word of what she was about to say. We believed that was the least we could do to not hurt her feelings. So the story of how you did your best. Chapter 1, then? Because you were certainly very active in trying to do something in there with Keiichi.
瞳を閉じていた日々流れ込む無秩序なテクスチャー黒基調放送知覚された刺激は特殊なリズムになって感染症のように熱を帯び叫ぶ雲
I saw Rena with what looks like a cleaver going up against a boy with a bat, so I'm thinking either Keiichi or maybe Satoshi. What the hell happened between you two to cause you to have a freaking cleaver bat battle on a rooftop somewhere? I should probably bring popcorn for it. Let's say it's a winter month like December right now. What would you do if, all of a sudden, you had a week of hot and humid days with crying cicadas? A hot week of humid days during December, huh? Well, I guess I'd go out for walks, enjoy nature. Although I guess that wouldn't really stop... I guess cold weather wouldn't really stop me from doing that anyway, so... I don't know. Would you still wear your coat and scarf? No. Absolutely not, right? Even though it's still June, it's already summer to us, since we've been having hot days for so long. So it's totally okay to do this kind of club activity in June. Which one? At my school, everybody usually does what they want in PE class. But today would be an exception. All my classmates were gathered in the schoolyard. Myun looked over everybody gathered there, then spoke up loudly. No, but I'll do what you ask me to anyway. They all raised their water guns in their hands. Ooh, we get to squirt people! Fun. It's okay to use water guns in June, because it's been so hot and humid. I wouldn't let December stop me from using a water gun on people. Live a little! A little cold water never hurt anybody. All my classmates were joining in, so it's gonna be a big water gun battle. I'm so excited.
さすがクラス全員で部活だとなんだか盛り上がりますわね。
Hello, Trapmaster. It is a lovely day outside, wouldn't you agree? Are you ready to get wet?
そうだね。全員で表ではしゃぐのってなんだか楽しそうかな。
And hello again to you, Rena.
みんなは楽しいですが、僕たちは例によって負けられないのです。
And yes, hello to you as well, Rika.
ま、そういうこったな。およそ勝負と名の付く以上、俺たち部活メンバーは常にリスクを背負ってるからな。
Oh, are we playing as Keiichi again? If we're playing as Keiichi again, how exactly am I supposed to get any answers for any of the other question arcs?
まあそういうこと。部活メンバー諸君は部活に負けたりしちゃうと大変なペナルティーが待ってるからね。せいぜいしっかり戦うこと。
You know, I'm 5 chapters into this, and I think punishment has been forever ruined for me. The word punishment, because of Higurashi. It just brings nothing but bad feelings in me now. Good going, Higi. You've ruined you ruined one little tiny fraction of the dictionary for me, possibly for 2 years. Although knowing me, I'd give it more like 2 months.
よしよし、盛り上がってきたぜ。生徒諸君、武器点検は十分か？弾倉は満タンか？
任せてくださいよ、前原さん。銃撃戦は僕たちの最も得意とするところですからね。
富田たちはよく水鉄砲で遊んでますから、かなり強敵かもなのですよ。
Well, okay, maybe they have plenty of experience with water guns, but what about oversized water balloons?
今日の僕たちは少し違います。
Tomota-kun and Okamura-kun smiled confidently, holding their guns in a practiced manner. Their skills must give them confidence. They even look different.
ミオンは言うに及ばず、サトコもリカちゃんもかなり強敵になりそうだぜ。
I'm pretty sure if Rika took this seriously, she'd be unstoppable.
レナはどうだ？ちょこまか動いて、いの一番にやられないように頑張れよ。そういえば、最近のレナは罰ゲーム常連だな。
はあ、最近不得意なゲームが多かったから。でもケイチ君も最近私と同じで罰ゲームが多いと思うかな。
I wonder how many sets of cat ears you all had to go through.
罰ゲームの格好のまま帰宅して、さあ脱ごうとしたところでお袋に見つかった俺の哀愁などわかるものか。
You say that like as though it's... Okay, yeah, I guess it could be funny in hindsight, but I mean, good God, I wonder what was going through her head when she saw this.
むが
私だって先週のはひどいよ。普通の女の子ならお嫁に行けなくなっちゃうよ。
Ruined for marriage? What exactly did you do? I'm not sure I even want to know. Satoko laughed at us loudly while we were shuddering at the memory of the cruel punishments we suffered in the past.
覇気や運気にも偏りというのがございましてよ。その意味から言えば、ここしばらくのレナさんやケイイチさんはいわゆる負け組というやつでございますわね。
Yeah, well, you see, Satoko, the averages can only beat me senseless for so long before they decide to turn their eyes on another target. Could be you for all you know. I can't be a loser forever. The averages have got to have fresh blood eventually.
確かに負け癖ってやつはあるね。
You do not
ど
know
う
how
してや
luck
つは負けが
works
続くと
me
くじ
on.
けてくる。絶対勝てるという信念が砕けると、全く同じことをやっても裏目に出るもんだからね。
Well, that was more so Satoshi's problem, let's be honest. Not Keiichi's.
たまたま俺とレナがちょいと罰ゲームを哀れに思って引き受けてやってたのを感謝もせずにその言い草か。
あら、そうでしたの？それは感謝の気持ちが足りず申し訳ないことでございましたよ。
うわー！サトコてめえ！そのセリフは俺の怒りに火をつけたぜ。
Those flames of your rage can't be as impressive as the last time you tried to cook a home-cooked meal for yourself in Chapter 3. Those flames... Those must have been very beautiful. If only I could see them!
後悔させてやる。
その意気だよ、ケイちゃん。まあせいぜいあがいておじさんを楽しませてちょうだいよね。レンナも頑張って。あうあう言ってる間にクラスで一番最初に脱落したらでもその可能性も高いかな。
My first bet on who's going to get shot among all of you is Satoko. No reason, just a feeling.
一番最初に脱落するのがレナさんだと思いましたよ。
Let's just call it the work of the law. Let's just call it the law of averages or something. Finally, deciding to find a new target, and leave it at that.
どんな目に遭うか今からお覚悟なさいませな。ひどいよ。みーちゃんもさとこちゃんも。レナもケイイチもファイトおーですよ。
Mion and Satoko laughed at us as loud as they could, then moved on to tease their next target. Left alone, all I could do was stomp on the floor in anger.
さあ絶対負けねえ。あそこまで言われたら負けられねえぜ。
そうだね。あそこまで言われると悔しいよね。
っていうか悔しいどころじゃねえぞ。プライドの問題だぞ。くさ。
Your pride is not exactly difficult to step on,
負け
Keiichi.
癖ってやっぱりあるかもしれないよね。だから今日は絶対に勝ってみんなを見返してやろう。
Rena's eyes looked different. She's usually a funny and weird person, but I know she has the determination to do what she needs to. When Rena looks like this, she can be a tough opponent.
今日は私も部活の規則にのっとり手加減なしで行く。
おお、なんだかかっこいいこと言うじゃねえの。まるで普段の自分はわざと手を抜いているって言わんばかりだぜ。
Rena smiled. Or maybe you could have called it a wicked grin. She was serious. She was serious about what she said. I could tell from her expression alone. Among all the club members, Rena is easily the most sensible one. The rule of our club is that we can do anything in order to win, but she's the only one who has more qualms in doing it. That's why we rarely have a hard time against her, except for when she snaps. It's rare to hear her say that she won't go easy.
ちくしょう、そんな笑い方されたら俺も超本気で行くしかねえじゃねえかよ。
So when you say snap, do you mean her going in her cute mode, going taking a dose of steroids or something and just turning into sheer violence against everyone within a 5-mile radius of her? Or do you mean the snapping as in the kind that makes her eyes go dull in terms of lighting? Please tell me it's the former.
いつも本気で戦うのが部活だけど、それでもやっぱりそれ以上に本気じゃないといけない時ってあるよね。今日は多分それだね。
だな。
We pounded our fists together. Usually, when we really don't want to lose the game, one asks the other to work together. But Rena didn't ask this time, which meant that she was going to try and defeat everybody by herself. No, not try. She was going to do it by herself. Prepare thy buttocks, Keiichi, because it's going to get spanked something fierce, I'm sure. Unless the punishment game involves something else besides that. I mean, it's your club. Anything is possible. For all I know, maybe somebody will tie you to a flagpole and raise you all the way to the top or something and leave you there for the whole night. Rena looked really cool at that moment, but I wasn't scared. If she was seriously going to do it, I'd have to be serious about and do it too. My fighting spirit had been dented after many losses, but had begun to burn hot once more.
圭一君もなかなかいい顔してるね。怖いな。全員と一人で戦っても勝てるつもりでいる顔だね。
レナだってそのつもりだろ。
じゃあぶつかるのは最後だね。
互いにクラス全員を全滅させたら最後にはそうなるな。
最後の戦いの時、そこにいるのが圭一君なのを期待してるね。
おう。
I have faith in none of you. Good luck! We pounded our fists together again.
光線規定はちゃんと覚えてるね。被弾時の申請だけは正直にね。被弾した人は撃っちゃダメだよ。仮に当てても無効ね。
ミオ、被弾の定義を再確認したいぜ。
Well, okay. So, if it doesn't count if you haven't already shot, then I suppose it wouldn't be a problem if I were to keep squirting you in the face, so you're constantly distracted, so anyone who isn't shot already could shoot you, and thus their shot would count. Could I assume that would be a fair but also unfair tactic that it can be used in this game?
水鉄砲で撃たれたら被弾。ひねくれたケイちゃんのためにさらに補足するなら
I just saw something else. I could get all the losers to shoot me with their water gun and get me all wet from head to toe. So that way I can run into all the people who haven't been shot yet, shoot them guns akimbo style, and I could just say, well, I've been shot by all the losers because they were all mad at me or something for besting them besting them. And well, you wouldn't have the proof unless you actually saw it happen, in which case, well, oh well, but that's why I would do it out of sight. Point is, you could shoot me, and you would not be able to prove it to anybody else. I'd be invincible.
水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であったとき被弾とするわけ。
And yes, I know that's not exactly a flawless strategy. Far from it. There's holes in it. Even I'm thinking about it now. But well, whatever. I'm just
つまり
talking.
水鉄砲を経由した水をバケツに溜めてぶっかけても無効ってわけ。
直接攻撃以外は有効じゃないってことだね。
Well, then again, I just saw someone else. If you got someone who acts as a referee and just basically keeps track of who's been shot, then well, there goes my weak strategy.
さとこちゃんの脅威が少し薄らいだかな。
Oh shit! Thank you for bringing that to attention, Rena. Keiichi, you might want to be careful not to find yourself in a pit trap or something. Or any other kind of trap that would temporarily or permanently immobilize you, because then you'd be screwed.
トラップにもいろいろございましたよ。レナさんなんか一番最初に餌食にして差し上げましたよ。それは無理。私を仕留めようとしたらさとこちゃんじゃまだまだ役不足だね。なんですって？
レナが売り言葉とはね。こりゃあ面白くなりそうだよ。ねえケイちゃん。
大して面白くねえと思うぞ。俺かレナかどっちにやられたいかを選ばされるだけなんだからな。
Ballsy.
ケイイチもやる気満々なのです。
Mion seemed to sense the fighting spirit in me and Rena. I could tell that she's as serious as we are, just from the way she looks.
おっしゃいい面構えだよ、気に入った。じゃあ始めるよ。全員3回くじで決められた場所に移動してね。
Everybody had to draw lots to pick a place to start the game from. It wouldn't be fun if everybody was close together at the beginning of the game. By the way, my starting position was behind the school building. When I drew this starting position, I thought about hiding until there were only a few people left like I did in our last game of tag. But a defensive tactic like that wasn't interesting to me anymore. You shouldn't just forgo it just because it's uninteresting. It may be boring, but it's practical. I hadn't been this excited in a long time. My legs were shaking with the excitement. It was my first time experiencing that kind of feeling. I could hear Mion's countdown from some distance away.
3、2、1。
A single shot of a toy pistol echoed. I don't think I've heard this song yet. With that sound, I was already running around the building. There had to be some underclassmen nearby. I'd usually assume that somebody else would take care of them, but this time was different. They stood frozen in fear as I ran towards them, screaming at the top of my voice. If this were any other piece of fiction or situation or anything else really, I would call you a fool for just charging directly at them, screaming your lungs out. You'd just be opening yourself up for attack right then and there. You basically lose the element of surprise. But I come to not expect such tactics to really be considered half the time with Higurashi. Okay, I don't think I even made a lick of sense just now. Point is, I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine, even though you really shouldn't be. They took a moment to quickly decide whether to fight or to run away, and in that moment, I shot one after another. Well, kids, you've done goofed. You hesitated. And that one moment of hesitation costed you your lives.
俺の隣が当たった時点で運がなかったと思ってくれ。
I felt bad for them because they lost the game so quickly, so I rubbed their heads to cheer them up, and then took their water guns. Yes, that was the key factor in this game. You can't put very much water in a water gun. With 10 people around with 10 people around you in a gun battle, the water would be gone in a minute. I abandoned the gun I used to shoot them, held one of their guns in each hand, and scoped out the yard. Personally, I would just drain the water from their guns into my gun and just refill my ammunition. Just like I expected, there was an intense battle happening there. In the short time it took me to take care of the area behind the school building, it seems like most of my classmates were already shot. I wasn't surprised though. I kinda knew it'd happen. You need to have a high skill to fight in the open schoolyard. Especially when most of the club members were there. It must have been like a battle of elephants and ants.
なんだミオンのあれは
Those poor ants. Mion was holding a different water gun from the one she had when the game started. She was now holding one that looked like a huge machine gun. Must have been a hand-me-down from Ryuugu. Its range capacity, its pump-action shooting, and the amount of water it can hold were way beyond comparison. There were no restrictions of what kind of water guns we could use today. As long as it's a water gun, we were allowed to use any kind. Most of us had a normal pistol-style water gun from a local toy store or something similar. I would have bought a bigger one like Mion's if they had one. But they weren't in stock, and I'd have to order it in. In other words, Mion ordered hers a long time ago, just for today. Planning very far ahead as always, huh, Mion? She's always well prepared when it comes to winning. She must have thought that we wouldn't allow her to use the big water gun if she showed it off before the game started, so she must have hidden it somewhere. Looks like most of our classmates were shot right after the game started. Only a few were still alive, trying to survive as long as they could by using the heavy construction equipment as a shield. Mion mercilessly shot at them from various angles to make them come out from behind the shield. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were trying their best to resist her attack from behind their shield. It looked like they had no chance against her, but that actually wasn't true. You know, Mion, the more you keep shooting, the more you waste water. I would just wait until they poke even a tip of their finger out before shooting. After all, the two of them were only still alive, because all their experience in water gun battles. They survived the first few minutes of her assault, even though 99% of their classmates didn't, and they were still surviving at that very moment. Mion, however, is also a battle-hardened soldier. She used the advantage of her big water tank, and gradually but certainly drove them into a corner. It was only a matter of time until she broke them down.
ダメだ。あのマシンガンはずるいよ。委員長の水が少なくなるまでなんとかしのごう。今は手も足も出ないよ。
They tried to hold out against her, but all I could do for now was to keep running behind cover as Mion strafed closer and closer to them. They wanted to use their 2 against 1 advantage, but it seems like they wouldn't even get that chance. If they tried attacking recklessly, one of them might get shot, and then the other would have no chance of winning. So they grew more cautious, placing their bets on their final chance, but that caused their offense to wane. Of course, Mion saw through their plan. She was purposely provoking them so they'd lose their patience and start attacking her recklessly. Mion circled around the construction equipment, and now she was standing with her back towards me. If I went up against her machine gun fair and square, I wouldn't stand a chance. So, attacking her from behind would be the only way for me to defeat her. Cue Deus Rena popping up to squirt you right either before or after you squirt Mion. Even though she was in a defenseless position, there was some distance between us. I was still too far away. But it would still be better to attack her now than take her head on. Don't hesitate, Keiichi. You won't have this chance again! I stepped out from my hiding place and ran as fast as I could towards her with 2 water guns in my hands. Instead of approaching slowly and silently, I screamed at the top of my lungs. Fool. Mion seemed a little shocked by my surprise attack, but she immediately pulled herself together. She knew the advantages of her weapon. But she didn't shoot me just yet. She held back, luring me closer. Mion was well aware of how much water she had left. If she had the same kind of water gun as me, we would have had the same range capability. So it would have been down to our technique to decide the winner. If she was fighting against one of her underclassmen, she could have defeated them easily. Mion immediately calculated her chance of winning against me, and figured out that her only chance was to use the advantage of her water gun. She saw the eye of the tiger in me, and recalculated her chances of winning in a split second. Really, I can admire how fast she does those things. I ran at top speed to shorten the distance between us. Our strength should have been equal. I had 2 water guns with full tanks, and she had a machine gun with a half-empty tank. We both waited for the perfect moment.
今日のケイちゃんの気迫には敬意を表するよ。今日のあんたには正面からぶつかり合って互角以上の勝率を弾き出せる自信がない。
残念だぜミオン。勝率の弾き方も鈍ったな。今日の俺に正面からぶつかり合ったら互角どころじゃない。てめえの負けだ。
The moment we stepped within range, Mion and I pulled our triggers at the same time. I am voting that both of you are going to lose. Rena set her sights squarely on me while I was trying to shoot and run at the same time. Her shot would obviously be more accurate than mine. My shot of water flew towards nowhere. Mion didn't even need to duck. You're a mistake, boy. But Mion's shot made a beautiful arc straight towards my chest. I could see the line of water coming straight at me, but I was too unstable to dodge. We knew ye well and not very well at all, Keiichi. You will sorely be missed. Mion had no doubt that she got me.
気合だけではどうにもならない現実がこれだったね。やっぱりケイちゃんは最初に脱落だ。
やっぱり残念だぜミオン。今日のミオンのコンピュータは一手読みが足りないぜ。
ほざくな。その体勢からかわす術はない。
How slow is this shot moving if you're still talking and it hasn't hit yet?
水の弾丸で撃ち抜かれろ。そしてどうして私の背後を沈黙して奪わず叫びながら襲う具を犯したかを呪うがいいよ。
You're really disappointing me today, Mion. You could have figured it out if you'd spent just one more second to think. You could have figured out the reason why I didn't creep up on you, but screamed as loud as I could instead. It was so her original targets could shoot her, right? While she was distracted. Mion noticed my surprise attack and turned to face me. In other words, she turned her back against the opponents she was fighting earlier. Those opponents heard my scream and saw that she had turned her back on them.
なんだって？
Mion noticed her back was wet and cold. She finally understood that the underclassmen she was attacking just earlier had shown their fangs and attacked her from behind. I blocked her water shot with my arm, right before it hit my chest. What an absolute bunch of bullshit I just witnessed. How things playing out exactly like this. Because that had to be the slowest stream of water that has ever shot out of a water gun ever. But whatever, it's entertaining all the same, so... Oh, whoops.
そうだったか。
The line of water was broken into droplets and splattered away.
被弾者の攻撃は被弾しても無効だ。
そいつに気づくのだいぶ遅かったぜ。伏せろミオン。
Mion squatted down and covered her head. Now it was me versus Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun. Their reflexes weren't so bad. They knew well that I'd be their next target after Mion was gone. They didn't feel sorry at all for attacking me right after I just saved them from their predicament. I can respect the cruelty and how quickly they shifted gears. They may one day be able to join our club if they keep refining their sense and skill.
次は前原さんだ。このまま撃ち殺すんだ。こっちは2人だもんね。負けるわけがない。
They were, however, one step behind me. It was already too late. For them, Mion was their first target and I was next. But I was different. My first target was them from the start. I didn't even see Mion as my target to begin with, because I knew they'd take care of her. I was pointing my guns at them long before they moved their sights from Mion to me. It seems like they noticed at the last moment that both of my guns had been pointing at them from the beginning, which meant it was already too late for them. It might be too soon for me to declare this, but I declare Rena the winner, on account of taking advantage of the situation, right, and shooting Keiichi right when his back is turned after taking care of his targets. I jumped over Mion, rolled on the ground, and landed on my feet. I looked as elegant as an athlete who just finished a perfect performance. I had a stun... for a second I thought I read stun gun. And I'm like, dear God, Keiichi! Especially in a water gun fight? Like, water conducts electricity, man. That's like overkill. I had a gun in each of my hands. And with those guns, I shot each of them in the middle of their chests.
早すぎる。僕たちが2人がかりで負けるなんて。
Tomota-kun and Okamura-kun fell to their knees in disappointment.
ケイちゃんがこれだけのことをやってのけるなんて、私も鈍ったってことかな。
Mion wiped the dirt off her knees, looking frustrated.
別にミオンは鈍っちゃいなかったろ。
じゃあなんでおじさんが負けたわけよ。
Because I am a god! No, I just got lucky today.
そんなの決まってるじゃねえか。
I twirled my guns on the tips of my fingers.
たまには勝たねえと格好がつかねえからだよ。
The law of averages, baby! There were only a few people left alive. Rena, Satoko, and myself. I forgot all about Satoko. Wait, so Rika got shot already? Oh shit. If she didn't get shot, then maybe Rika's gonna be our winner. Rena and Satoko were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? I can almost picture them just shooting at each other with their squirt guns, and their squirts keep hitting each other midair, just splashing right between the both of them. No, Satoko was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rena into a corner. Rena was usually gentle and slow, but today she was different. She was very serious today, and yet Satoko was still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer even without her tricky traps.
最初の威勢はどこへ行ってしまいましたのかしら。いい動きをするね。私も負けられないよ。
Satoko kept moving around, piling on pressure in order to pin Rena down. She kept shooting, so her tank must have been almost empty, but her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed a bucket near her feet, which was full of many water guns. I understood, seeing that. She must have been taking guns from others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets, water, was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into these guns is rather small. To put water through it from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. In a battle like this, it would be almost suicidal. I understand that well, so I've been taking guns from people I defeated. But I can only hold one in each hand. Satoko used a bucket to overcome the limit. Rena looked like she only had one water gun. I assumed she had two earlier, but she must have used a lot of water during her long battle with Satoko. It looked like she was trying to save her water for the right moment, but with Satoko's fierce attacks, it was obvious that it was only a matter of time before Rena was driven into a corner. However, Rena is also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Satoko to a place where she'd have the advantage. There was a narrow, twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rena's water levels running low, she'd want to turn things around with a single close-range shot. I was so tempted to make a Dragon Ball reference, but replacing power levels with water levels and gallons. But my humor is slightly less repetitive than that, if that's even the right word to use in this context. That narrow path was a perfect place for her to do that. Well, no, not repetitive. God damn it. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
攻撃の手が鈍ってきたね。疲れてきた？お気遣いは嬉しいですけど、まだまだでしてよ。それよりそちらのお水は大丈夫ですの？さっきから全然打ち返してきませんわよ。ひょっとしてもう玉切れじゃございませんの？そうだと思うならお顔を出してみたらどう？遠慮いたしましてよ。最後の一発を温存しているのは分かっていますわ。一発あれば十分だよ。体操服を濡らした気の毒だからね。額を打ってあげるね。まさかレナさんとこんなにもスリリングなやりとりができるなんて思いませんでしたわ。でも最後の一発分の水量では大して勢いもないでしょうから、射程もほとんどないんじゃありません
Satoko is right about that. Rena had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolutely disadvantageous situation, Rena didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Satoko as a threat.
うまい位置に逃げ込みましたわね。私もさすがに慎重にならざるを得ませんわ。
Satoko seemed to understand how dangerous Rena's last shot was going to be better than I did, since she was the one actually fighting against her.
私、将棋はあまりやらないんですけれど、こういうのを詰将棋って言うんでございましょうね。
Oh boy, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Satoko took out another gun with a full tank and shortened the distance between them slowly and carefully. A gun with a full tank doesn't only have a long range, it also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot at each other in a frontal attack, Satoko would have a 99% chance to win. Even so, Satoko was still afraid of Rena's last shot. Satoko shortened the distance even further, smiling as if unafraid, but I could tell she was actually full of fear. Satoko compared this situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess, you can use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner, but in this case, there were only Rena and Satoko. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Satoko doesn't have any pieces other than herself. A king can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why while at first glance it looks like Satoko has the absolute advantage, they're actually on equal footing.
さあ参りますわよ。このままチャイムを待つなんて私たちらしくありませんわ。そうだね。 勝負しよう。
That's strange, I thought. Rena wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Satoko. What kind of plan did she have? Guess we'll find out. Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I noticed something right away. Rena had a different gun. I had a feeling she had to have prepared another gun. Satoko seemed to notice it as well.
ここには弾切れになったら逃げ込もうと考えててね。あらかじめ一丁拾って隠してあったの。
Apparently Mion isn't the only one who thought to bring a water gun in advance. Damn! She's good! And using a trap at the last moment for a come-from-behind victory, it was as though she was taking Satoko's best skill from her and firing it right back. Satoko no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks. But she still looked confident. What's going on? Did she have some kind of plan too?
その一丁は私にとっても大切な一丁でしたのよ。
Oh?
どうしてかな。だってその一丁がなかったらレナさんはさっきの銃のまま一撃逆転を狙い続けてこうして私の前に姿を現したりしませんもの。
At that moment, lightning ran through my brain and I instantly understood the situation. Of course! Rena was in a disadvantageous situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Satoko, since she didn't have a chance to make her shot while Rena was in hiding. Rena had remained cautious in order to hit her with her last shot, and that made it difficult for Satoko to attack her. However, what if Rena didn't need to take the last shot for a come from behind victory? No, I said it wrong. So did I. What if Rena had got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Satoko. Stop hiding.
つまりレナさんがここを目指しながら逃げてその銃を拾うことは最初から読んでいましたってことですのよ。
So you knew about the gun. Let Satoko top craps at Rena. Yeah, I guess she could be. You didn't have to listen to her. Just shoot her right now. Because, I mean, she already knew about the gun in advance. She could have just moved it. Rena thought the same thing. She shot Satoko without any hesitation. But she frowned in confusion a moment after. Oh. You plugged it somehow, didn't you? What's going on? She couldn't shoot? Was her water gun broken? Or did somebody break it?
水鉄砲なんてちょっと砂粒を入れて空打ちすればすぐに詰まっちゃうんですのよ。
Dang.
私が切り札をここに一丁持ってることを先に読んで細工したってわけだね。
You still have your other gun, don't you? Make that last shot count.
私いつも言ってましたよ。トラップは最後の最後でほんの一つささやかに。これが究極の美徳でございましたよ。
When it comes to traps, Satoko remained a notch above Rena after all. Of course, she's the trap master. I couldn't believe Satoko figured out Rena's plan in advance, and set a trap to counter it. Rena, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. But it's too late now for you to pick it up again. Rena was in a worse situation than she was before. She couldn't even take another shot.
さて観念なさいませ。さっきレナさんは私の額を打つとか言われましたわね。私が逆に額を打って差し上げましたよ。
Satoko slowly narrowed her distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rena's forehead. Rena still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought the game was undecided.
さとこちゃんもまだまだ甘いね。なんですって？ トラップで相手を仕留めたならね、さとこちゃんが余裕を見せるのは勝者の権利だと思う。だけどね、今のさとこちゃんは私を絡め取っただけで仕留めたわけじゃない。余裕を見せるのはまだまだ早い段階だとは思わない？何を言い出すかと思えば、今から仕留めるから同じことですわ。私が逆の立場なら脳書きなんか言わずにさっさと撃つ。じゃないと負けるから。負ける？誰が？あら、その壊れた水鉄砲でどうやって戦うおつもりで？被弾の定義。水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であったとき。
I was just thinking that, actually, Rena. Why don't you pull open the cap on your water gun and throw it at her, and let the water leak out from the hole?
は？それが一体何だって言うんですの？
When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rena. Satoko was already dead to me. That sounds so bad out of context. Why? She was going to be shot by Rena within the second.
レナさんが何を言ってるのか私さっぱりでしたよ。その壊れた水鉄砲で何ができるおつもりだか。水鉄砲の中に水があれば戦えるんだよ。わかんないかな？
Rena raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of the school building as hard as she could. Or you could just break it. I guess that's also an option. The plastic broke easily and water flowed out of it.
水鉄砲から出た水が当たればいいんだよ。水鉄砲のどこから出たかは問題にしてない。
Rena was right. She just saved herself by thinking it through. If she was using a real gun, bullets would only come out from one end of the gun. But this was a water gun. She could make her bullets, water in this case, come out from any place, not just the barrel of the gun. Satoko finally realized that she was standing defenselessly in front of Rena. Satoko's trap was successful, but she overestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rena without hesitation before Rena noticed her new water gun was jammed. She was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. A second before Satoko pulled the trigger, Rena swung her water gun as if slashing Satoko with a sword. Satoko fired her bullets, but it was too late. A second before Rena would be shot down, a blade of water hit Satoko in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face open.
まだまだ爪が甘かったね。この私が。
Rena ran towards Satoko, who was staying still in shock, and took her water gun. Rena knew I was her last target, and I was running towards her.
Rena!
Well, Keiichi, Rena, you've completely impressed me. You both managed to last all the way to the very end, even though I declared I had absolutely zero faith in you. Way to make a fool out of me. Good going. Rena, using her superior mobility, began to duck and weave. We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation.
最後には一騎打ちになると思ってたよ。やっぱりこうでなくっちゃね。
見直したぜ。とんでもない根性を見せてくれるじゃないか。
見直したより惚れ直したの方が嬉しいかな。
負けてくれたらそれでもいいぜ。
ごめんだね。
We circled around the construction equipment. trying to take shots at each other. We were both sweating like crazy, but I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat tickled as they ran down my body. Rapid bursts of water flew across both of our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rena. It was like a dance. A dance that I couldn't dance alone. A dance that I could only dance with an opponent.
本気のレナはやっぱり冴えるね。見てるだけで震えがくるよ。
そのレナさんと互角に渡り合うなんてケイチさんもやりますわね。どちらが勝つか全然予想がつきませんです。
There you are, Rika. In fact, none of the observers could tell who was going to win. Neither could we. I had no idea who was going to win. We had no idea, excuse me. We had no idea when this battle would end. I didn't know why, but it was great fun just to fight against Rena. I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I never even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both our tanks emptied, shortening our range. Inevitably, it became more and more like a melee than a gun battle. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swinging the gun like a sword. We both came up with the idea of swinging the gun hard to generate a centrifugal force in order to increase the range of our attacks. I dived to duck her shot. I rolled on the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked her shot again and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that our club's water gun battle would turn into one-on-one close combat like this? I'm just trying to picture how combat between you and Rena is going to evolve from water gun fights to bat and cleaver fights. Absolutely nobody. Although I guess I don't really need to think about it too hard, given what I've already seen so far.
ああ、やっぱりレナもそう思うか。
じゃあケイチ君もそう思うんだ。
We're both breathing hard, calculating the timing needed to take a closer step. And then we both grinned wickedly at each other.
やり合うのが楽しくてならねえぜ。決着がつくことすら興ざめす。
負けても恨まないでね。
ああ、恨まない。この勝負を終わらせた自分の不甲斐なさを恨んでやるぜ。だがそいつを恨むのはどうやらレナの方になりそうだな。
どうかな。ケイチ君、足がわらだよ。
くそったれー。おりゃ
ー。すごい。なんだかものすごくかっこいい。前原さん、頑張れー。リュウグさん、しっかりー。
I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle, and finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fight. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count, or I was done for. It seemed like Rena was in the same situation too.
泣いても笑っても次で終わりだな。水が有限なのが惜しいぜ。
限りがあるから美しい。花も一緒だよ。
なるほどな。そういう見方もあるか。
本当に楽しかった。でもこれで終わりだね。
だな。無粋かもしれんが勝って決着させてもらうぜ。
上等だよケイチ君。
負けて泣くなよ。
勝負。
乗ったー。うわー。
Maybe they both shot each other. The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sound like the hand of a watch taking away the seconds. None of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies.
どっちが先に？わかんない。全然見えなかった。
Our classmates broke the silence first. They finally realized that our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over.
委員長、判定は？
Mion, in turn, realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others, and it took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render her verdict. In fact, Rena and I didn't know who won either. You shot each other. My last shot flew past and splashed sideways as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure. But at the same moment, Rena's shot hit me in the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins. But we didn't know if it was me or her. That's why we stood motionless, waiting for the verdict to be delivered. Flip a coin!
リカには見えまして。僕にだってわかるわけないのです。
委員長、どっちの勝ちなの？
Everybody held their breath, waiting for Mion to call it. Rena kept staring at and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us, it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We had both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide the winner. It seems like everybody is thinking the same way.
Me? 判定が出ないと二人とも動けませんです。
Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is the loser because it's more fun to have as many people as possible suffer the punishment. But she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continued holding their breath, awaiting their verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen a winner more easily if one of us did even a little better than the other. But even if one of us did a little better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie.
今日の二人は見事だったよ。
Mion finally started speaking.
ケイちゃんもレナもここしばらくの連敗に発奮し最高の力を発揮してくれた。その瞬発力は評価の工程の段階を超えてもはや美しいと呼べるまでに昇華されてたよ。私は二人の最高の戦いぶりに評価を惜しめない。
じゃあ決着はどうなるんですの？
快速の精神から1位を2人に認定するのは好ましくない。でも2人にはわずかの優劣もなくどちらを膠着させるかの判断もとてもつかない。
Coin flip.
よって本日の戦いを預かり勝負とし後日改めて決着をつけることといたしたい。
And I bet that battle will be right towards the very end and it'll be far more lethal. I expected she might settle for a tie, but I never thought she'd make us have another battle.
灰原さん、すごかったですよ。かっこよすぎます。竜宮さんにもしびれました。なんかこう、なあ、見てるこっちまで熱くなるというか。
The classmates rushed towards us and praised us for showing them something that cool. Ray and I were finally released from the tension of battle and dropped to our knees.
残念。決着をつけ損なったね。
まあな、次の機会を楽しみにしようぜ。
肩を貸してほしいな。
先に言うな。俺が借りようと思ったのに。
We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this.
それはそうと。
うまいことやったよな。
うまいことって何がですの？兄ちゃん、うまいこと言って今日の罰ゲームうやむやにする気だ。
Oh, Mion. That's not fair to us. Get back here.
ギク。
かっこつけときながら、保身第一ってあたりがミオンっぽい。逃げたぞ。図星かよ。わかりやすいやつだな。
Give chase! The bell rang, the sign that class was over, while we all laughed at Neon. Who cares about the bell? Give chase! After that...
二人ともお疲れ様なのです。タオルをどうぞなのです。
I don't need no stinking towel. I'll just air dry. Rika-chan held out a towel, a big smile on her face. However, Rain and I stepped back and pointed our water guns at her.
もうみんなにいっぱいいっぱい撃たれましたのです。もう撃たれてると言っても誰も信じてくれないのですよ。
Well, I don't know if I would believe you either, to be fair. Rena-chan was soaking wet. She could have spontaneously summoned a rain cloud overhead that just poured on her for like a minute. I don't know. And no, I'm not being serious with that, obviously. Well, nobody believed her because she really could be that sneaky, pretending that she was hidden in order to stay in the game.
普段は普段でございますものね。信じるというのが難しい相談でございましてよ。みんながいじめるのです。僕はもう一人ぼっちなのです。段ボール箱の中でミーミー泣いて誰も拾ってくれないかわいそうな猫さんなのですよ。
God damn it, Rika, don't invoke that mental image. You're gonna make me depressed. Boom! The sound came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Karma, Rika. This is what you deserve for evoking such a depressing image. Rena must have pictured Rika-chan meowing like a cat in a cardboard box. That's not a cute image! It's sad!
リカちゃん捨ててあるよ、捨ててある。レナが拾うよ。お持ち帰り。
Ah! Ugh! Ouch! Meep meep! Boom. Rena, you're ruining how cool we looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self, and jumped on Rika-chan like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika-chan struggles to get away. Karma.
はい皆さん、早く教室に戻りなさい。
Hello, Curry Maniac. She-sensei clapped her hands and yelled at us from the window of the teacher's office.
行こうぜみんな。
Everyone exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a few more twists and turns before this whole thing was over. New tips unlocked. Pleasant weather. Thought we'd have a little more than this. Okay, so let's see what this is about. One reason I like my house is because it has good ventilation. As long as there's a nice breeze, I didn't have to rely on a fan to keep me cool. I can take down my futon from the windowsill, place my cushion near the open window, and enjoy the cool breeze of the evening. According to my page-a-day calendar, it's June 1983 today. While it was still June, it seemed like summer skipped the rainy season and was already coming around the corner. This was very abnormal, apparently. Even if it was abnormal weather, that only comes around in 100 years. If it was supposed to come in June of 1983, it wasn't so much of a big deal. It was inevitable. On the other hand, the sudden evening shower on the way home from school was more unpredictable than anything else. Every day had been in perfect harmony, as if it was all carefully planned. I felt something good was going to happen this year. How should I put it? It's like the feeling I get when I roll a 6 on the first throw of a board game and start off with a huge lead. When it comes to a die, the more you roll it, the more the total averages out. We actually roll a die many times every day of our lives. So, it's not like one stroke of luck is really a big deal to be overly happy with. If I roll a 6 on my first throw and a 1 on the next throw, the total is 7. If you believe in fate, you might say there's a higher possibility of a 1 to come up on the die. But you can never actually tell what number you will roll. That's what fate is all about. You might roll a 6 again. The chance of rolling a 6 twice in a row is 1 out of 36. But if you look at each throw, one by one, there's only a 1/6 chance of that miracle. The glass wind chime Satoko put up yesterday was making a refreshing sound. Oh, so this is Rika, then. Yeah, I guess this definitely seems like the sort of thing you would muse about. This all could be starting out like chapter 5 did, to where we go back in time to a certain degree, and the chapter plays out in that time period before fast forwarding to the present time in the question arcs, thus bringing us to the current conflict that was initially introduced in the question arc. But I don't think it's years in this case, because Keiichi is here. So it's probably weeks, maybe, before Chapter 1 takes place. Again, assuming this is actually in the answer arc for Chapter 1. But, I mean, they're all here, so they were at the beginning, but... I'm honestly not sure what to make of this just yet. That little segment at the beginning where they're all apparently gathered at the dam construction dumping ground. Rena telling everybody a tale of how she tried to do her best, which I guess we're in the middle of. If that was all supposed to take place after the fact in regards to any of the question arcs ends, then none of them should be alive, or at least all of them. Mion and Rena and Keiichi in particular, at the very least, should be dead, no matter what. Unless this is a whole new story that I haven't seen yet in any of the question arcs. I guess that's also a possibility. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to observe how things play out and what they're going to lead up to, which might take like an additional episode or two. Like, I don't really think that there's going to be a whole lot that I'm going to be able to really speculate on in the grand scheme of things, at least for now. So, observe I shall do. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut the episode off here. If you enjoyed this episode of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 6 and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Take care.